Hi, this is Leonie, and this is my assignment 1 for applied psychology. A sports psychologist is someone who understands the theory of behaviour during sport, and they use a wide range of techniques, strengths and weaknesses of an athlete's psychological thoughts. They help to improve performance by applying psychological skills such as dealing with pressure and over or under arousal. An example of this could be a sports psychologist helping a team cope with the pressure of a penalty shootout. England are known for losing penalty shootouts, so when we go going into a competition such as the World Cup, they know they may have to do a penalty shootout at some stage of the competition. The psychologist would work with the team and give them techniques of how to deal with the stress and negative thoughts. England recently appointed Rebecca Symes, who is a sports psychologist, so she will help them deal with this. The roles of a sport and exercise psychologist. The research role. A large number of people who work as a sport and exercise psychologist are also active in doing a lot of research. This is good because they can help contribute to the profession due to the wide range of knowledge and techniques they can develop. Doing research is important within psychology because it helps people get a better understanding of topics in psychology from people responding to injuries or improving an athlete's technique. Research is also important in exercise psychology because it plays an important role in health. For example, how physical activity can improve someone's mental health. Experiments and interviews are conducted, then the results are analysed, and once the research has been completed, psychologists may put their findings into a journal, which can then be accessed by a wide range of people who would be benefited by the information. Research is also good because new things could be found out, such as new techniques to help people cope with the stress during sporting activities, like taking a penalty. Some scholars have researched and investigated effects of motivation, imagery, and mental rehearsal. Education. Psychologists can also help teach others about psychology, such as going into colleges and universities and lecturing for BTEC nationals or degrees. This then helps others who may want to pursue a career in psychology gain an understanding of what their job involves. It also helps them gather subject-specific skills and knowledge that they could use themselves or when working within another sporting environment, such as going on work experience. Some psychologists will teach general psychology, but others may teach a more applied type within specific sports. Consultancy. Sports psychologists need to be able to complete the role of being a consultant, which means that they must assess the psychological strengths and areas for improving in different individuals, as well as using different psychological skills with individuals and teams to enhance performance. They also have to help people manage their lifestyles, help with injury rehabilitation, and conduct team-building activities. Having good consultancy skills is very important because it makes the athlete feel more secure and safe with their psychological problems such as stress or anxiety. The psychologist would need to be trustworthy and supportive so the athlete will not hesitate to go to the psychologist if they need any help. This will help to improve their performance because they can learn how to deal with any psychological issues that may impact or hinder performance. Performance enhancement. Psychologists help to enhance performance by teaching athletes how to mentally prepare for big occasions or situations that are very important, such as a final of a World Cup. The psychologist will teach the athlete how to reach their peak performance by developing different skills such as imagery, breathing activities, and progressive muscular relaxation. These all help to reduce nervousness, tension, fear, and help him to maintain concentration and motivation. This will improve performance because if an athlete can control psychological aspects of sport, then they will be able to physically perform better. This is because if the mind is focused and relaxed, it will be much easier to perform and confidence levels will be higher. For example, when someone has a penalty, if they can relax themselves and focus on scoring, or even think about a past penalty which they have scored, they will be much more confident and the chances of them scoring become much higher. Lifestyle management. Athletes often make the correct lifestyle choices such as the correct nutrition and getting enough rest. However, athletes can sometimes become addicted to recreational drugs such as alcohol or other things like gambling. These addictions would take their focus away from sports, so would hinder performance. Sports psychologists must help educate athletes on the correct lifestyle choices, and this is usually done with the help of other professionals. The aim of educating athletes is to make them aware of the dangers of bad lifestyle choices and to help them make the right choices. Psychologists can work with clubs or teams directly or can work for organisations such as Sporting Chance Clinic in order to help athletes. The psychologists can also work with nutrition professionals and fitness professionals to help people who suffer from body image problems and to also maintain exercise routines. Team building. A sports psychologist should work to build high levels of cohesion between team members because a team with high levels of cohesion is going to perform much better. The psychologist should teach people how to fit into the team and how they can benefit the team and contribute to a good performance. They should also help people overcome barriers such as injuries, disagreements, and players being transferred so that when they have new players come or players leave, the whole team can adapt to it to ensure that they still perform well. The psychologist should develop a common goal and group identity so that every member is working towards and wants to achieve the same thing, because then every team member will try their best to reach that goal that they want. They also identify emerging and prescribed leaders, meaning that they can appoint a natural leader who will be able to guide the team due to their natural leadership abilities. They should also recognise an emerging leader who the teammates look towards for guidance due to their status within the team. Dealing with injury and rehab. A sports psychologist can help an athlete deal with injuries because they will help the athlete develop certain strategies to deal with emotions and feelings. There is a 4-step method created by Petit Pass and Danish, 1995, that states how to help and work with an athlete when they have been injured and are recovering. Rapport building stage. This is when the psychologist will listen to the athlete's thoughts and feelings regarding their injury. This is done so the sports psychologist and the athlete can build a relationship and so that the athlete knows that there is help available to them. Education stage. The sports psychologist will work with the rest of the support team, such as sports therapists, surgeons and biomechanists. This is done to help the athlete gain an understanding of the stage of their injury and how they can recover. Due to the fact sports psychologists don't have a special understanding of the physical aspects of rehabilitation, they are required to work with the other team professionals so the athlete can get the best care. Skills development stage. The sports psychologist helps the athlete to begin to develop psychological skills such as coping mechanisms to help them with the injury rehabilitation. They may also help the athlete use their current psychological skills and adapt them to use within the setting of an injury rehabilitation program. Practice and evaluation stage. This is an important stage because it is when the athlete practices skills that they have developed during the program, especially in the previous stage. The sports psychologist will then monitor their progress and how they are achieving their rehabilitation goals. The sports psychologist should provide feedback and reassurance to the athlete in order to help the athlete develop more skills if required. Coaching education. It is very important that the sports psychologist educate the coaches on the different methods of psychology and on how different athletes will be motivated or how they respond to feedback. This is important because the coach needs to know how to psychologically deal with different players and if they will be motivated by being shouted at or if they prefer constructive feedback and reassurance. If an athlete doesn't like being shouted at but their coach constantly shouts at them, they are not going to be motivated to perform or to recover. The coach also needs to know how to deal with players in certain situations, because if the situation arises in a game and they don't know how to calm or remotivate the athlete, then the athlete's performance will decrease greatly because they won't be able to reach peak motivation. The coach sometimes requires support of the sports psychologists themselves. This is because coaches can experience a large variety of emotions during training and competitions, so they need to be able to deal with these emotions so they can give their team the best effort and skills. If a coach isn't fully prepared to bring his team a good result and help them work towards the goal that they want, then the performance of the team will drop. And also, if the coach isn't motivated and is stressed, then that's going to wear off on the team as well, because they'll be around them and they'll get that vibe. So then the whole team and staff will just be performing bad, so everyone's performance will drop.